Here for the VRC St Ledger, and we start with the Godolphin runner, number 1, Etymology.
Well, he's had 2 runs beyond 2,000 metres. One, he held his ground in an ATC derby won by Tovago, and the other one was a 2-length second to Tarzino with a gap to third in the VRC derby. So that's the A form, hard to beat.
And we've seen that in the past, haven't we? Order of the Sun ran in the Rosehill Guineas and then the Tulloch before winning last year, and in 2014, and Hippopus in 2013 running 5th in the ATC Derby, the exact same place that Etymology did run. Hudern is horse number 2 for Ben Melham and David Brightoak.
Well, he must have a case if Cool Chap does, because 2 runs ago he was wide whilst Cool Chap was hugging the rail. Only 2.2 lengths between them on the line, and this horse has a relative weights advantage. Went to the Port Adelaide Guineas, but doubt was suited back in trip. Hit the line nicely though. Winning hope.
He's $9.50 into $8 too, so some punters agreeing with you that he's a winning hope. Here's Cool Chap, who you just referenced, who's $4.80 into $4.40.
Well, he finished alongside Palantino, speaking of the A form, and then beat key rivals here, Caulfield 2000. No match for a highly promising one last time, that horse being Charlevoix, but he gapped everything else.
And that Charlevoix form is obviously a form reference that's going to stand up here, because there's so many runners coming through it, including number 4, Bullish Stock, who ran 4th in that race when led.
Yeah, faded that day, but not badly. Only beaten 5.2. I guess obviously needs to make up 3 lengths on Cool Chap. Prior to that was a poor one at Caulfield. Had the gap between runs into that run.
And Skullduggery comes through the race. He ran 8th in that Galilee final. He's $21 and solid here on course.
Maybe he's ridden a bit warm. He certainly didn't finish off. Either that or he didn't get the trip, so the latter would be a concern. Wasn't bad, I thought, at Caulfield prior to that, when only 5.8 off Cool Chap.
Tough Bicky comes through the Galilee final as well. He ran 5th in it. He's a $20 chance today.
Best roughie for mine. He was caught wide behind Cool Chap 2 runs ago and stuck on super. And then in the Galilee final, Charlevoix, Cool Chap again. He covered ground and he was 14s into 10s that day. I think it's a really good blowout.
Well, the different form reference is the New South Wales Class 1 at the Provincials, trained by James Cummings, and that is Joyeux, in the famous colours of Les and Sue Smith that were carried to Group 1 glory with Mimi LeBrook, who won a Magic Millions, I should say. And, well, this day by Casino Prince looked like he'll just stick all day.
Yeah, well, that was the case last time. Did a lot wrong and brained them. Was obviously classes above Class 1 grade. Go back a couple of runs, and unfortunately he didn't have much luck behind Happy Hannah. That would have been a really good reference to find out, how he would have gone against that filly.
Terry and Karina O'Sullivan have an 80-1 chance here in horse number 8 in Surrey Mannock, who ran last in that Galilee final.
Yeah, he was big odds that day, wasn't he, and beaten a long way, so hard to see him turning the tables, although the run prior, the Cool Chap run 100-1, was actually good, given he did cover a bit of ground there. And
Laser Sight was second last in the Galilee final.
Yeah, went back and stayed back. The Bendigo run prior was beaten in a maiden, so others better.
10s are scratching. Cracklin Rose, this High Chaparral filly for Robbie Lang and Luke Curry, also through the Galilee final, running 7th.
Yeah, it was an even effort at best there. I guess she does have a bit of scope about it. She was 1,500 out to 2,400, so assuming fitter for that.
Is the 3rd of the maidens, and this filly by Duke of Marmalade run 3rd in the Galilee final. She's bred to stay all day. Pat Carey and Katie Mallion.
You can get a roughie up, Pat, don't worry. This filly was quite good. She wasn't far off Cool Chap there in that race behind Charlevoix, and must have a case of that. She will stay. Was
Fiefdom's maiden win at Geelong good enough to be a factor here?
I'd be surprised, but look, it was an honest effort, knuckled down really well. It was a tough effort.
And Wintonia, well, Pat Carey's got 3 runners in this. He combines with Patrick Maloney here with Wintonia, this Doomsday filly, who took on the older horses behind Andirondack, beaten 14 lengths. Yeah,
got a long way back there and stayed there. I guess the reference on the CV is the day she easily beat Maru. Now, Maru's the filly here that some are entertaining and had placed behind Cool Chap last start, so there's a reference for you.
Well, Maru's $18 out to $21 just to take your point, and Wintonia is a bigger